Hey, what's up guys? So today I want to talk about some of the apps that I use most frequently to edit my photos and post them on Instagram, etc. So some of these apps are really easy to use. So if you ever noticed how you can post a batch of different photos on Instagram. For example, if you sometimes have a landscape and the other photos are all portrait. So what will happen to the landscape is it'll basically zoom in into that portrait, and it will just kind of mess up the whole ratio of how the photo looked. And as you know, sometimes zooming into pictures, just changing the crop ratio, etc., it just makes the picture not as good anymore. Just manipulate those photos and make sure that they are uploaded in the manner that you want to be uploaded. You can actually use an app called Square Fit. There are other apps who will actually create a white background for the top and the bottom, or the right and the left, whatever you want. And this basically works out really nice because it adds white bars around your photos. So this was a thing with Instagram before all this new generation and tech came in. All the photos were actually in square. So to post those landscapes or those portraits, what pro photographers would do is they would use one of these apps and they would put those white bars around just to make them into the aspect ratio and keep their picture as is. It also creates a really nice look and something that really flowed well with a lot of photographers and they grid on Instagram, etc. So that's one of them, Square Fit. And there's another app that you can actually use, which I used for a long time, which is Lightroom. So the second app that I like to use is Unfold. So Unfold basically creates different kind of templates for you to post on your stories on Instagram, etc. So this basically allows you to select a template and then you can pick your photos, align however you want it, and just make whatever you want to make. And it's just a really quick step. So for example, for this photo, I'll just select the photo, added some title, or you can add some more title and stuff. You can change the text box, stickers, background, duplicate, etc. You can do all those things on this app and basically create a really nice looking story for your Instagram, etc. So this basically works out really nice because it allows you to do this in the matter of seconds or minutes at times if you really want to spend too much time. But I love this app because it kind of creates context to your photos and your stories, and now they just don't look like any basic photos on stories, etc. It basically makes you stand out and not be everyone else. And this also allows you to add some new text box editing, etc. So you can have text on there as well, and you don't have to use those fonts from Instagram that are very basic and overused. I think everyone has used them so much that they've become so basic, and you just want to use something different, be more creative. So the second app I want to talk about is actually Presets app. This basically allows you to edit these photos on the go with different presets, as the name prefers. So we have a lot of different presets here. We have vintage, amber, landscape, indoor, whatever, all these different preset boxes that you can actually click on. Some are free, some are paid. Just like the Unfold app, you get some free things, but if you really want to step it up, it's a yearly subscription of like $10 to $20. So you really want to pick on that and just use this app, because trust me, it'll save you a lot of time, especially if you're creative, especially if you're someone who likes to take photos and invest some time into your social media. I think this will really up your game. And so you basically go in here, you edit a photo. This one is a free one, so you can see how that works out. And we select a photo, and then we'll go into the editors. So a couple months ago when this app was released, they didn't actually have this editor feature inside of this app, which kind of seemed a backlash to this app. But at the time now being, they actually have this little editor here that allows you to edit photos however you want it to be. So you can change exposure, contrast, highlights, and shadows. These are probably the most used when I want to edit a photo. So once you do have a preset installed and on your photo, only thing you want to change is exposure and your contrast, basically. So those things are being taken care of here, and just from there I can edit these photos on the go and do this in a matter of seconds. As you can see, I'm biking in this photo, and I edited this photo originally while biking, so it doesn't even require you to be stationary at home or something. Just it takes seconds. That's what I'm trying to say here. So last but not the least, we do have the Lightroom app. It works, it takes slightly longer, but at times if you are on the go, I think this app can also do the job. They do need some work to be done on this app to make it more fast, more quick editing. But I think if you want to use Lightroom, you're better off using Lightroom on your computer when you're editing a batch of 100, 200 photos, not your story photos. This can be like, I love using Lightroom on my computer because then I can edit like a batch of like a whole event, 100 to 500 photos sometimes, and it just works out really well because Lightroom is meant for that, and Lightroom on mobile just hasn't caught up yet. So that's about all the 4 apps that I use primarily. You can see all these other apps that I have not even used, and they've kind of been just sitting there. So these are the 4 most used apps that I use for photography and cinematography. And if you guys have any questions on these apps, please make sure to ask them in the comment section down below. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.